The big questions right now is like, well, at some point during the design, you can foresee like how much your building is gonna cost, like in terms of heating and cooling. So now that you have going through the whole year, what you can say about it? So have you seen like any difference in your, let's say, like energy bills in a way?
Yeah, for sure. I briefly touched on it before, but with our energy bills now, the heating and cooling portion is definitely a lot less. And it's maybe not quite that like $300 a year we expected or whatever, because again, that's totally dependent on us too. If we leave a door open for too long, or we do something that could offset that perfect scenario, then it's going to cost us a bit more. But we basically have no gas bill whatsoever. So we did have to, and passive is the one exception we did get, was we do have a gas line in here. But that gas line actually doesn't have anything to do with the heating or cooling of the building. It's because we couldn't find a pressure washer that had a heated tank with it that could keep up to the volume we need that was done any other way than gas. So that gas line is feeding that one pressure washer. It has nothing to do with the building. And then the electrical side of things, as I'd mentioned before, our previous Subaru building had 11 to 12 working in the building on a day-to-day on our operating basis. And the building was just less than half the size of this. So now our new building, being over twice the size, basically, is running at about the same expense or even less, especially less during the winter time, because we don't have the gas to heat the building. Is running it as the same or less as a building half its size, but with now twice as many staff, or at least 10 more staff. So that's a pretty unique statement there. And to change that perspective a little bit more, our GM store, which is on the same kind of 6-acre plot that we have here, is basically exactly double the size. They have about 70 staff in that building there. Their bills are over 5 or 6 times more energy-wise than our Subaru building is.
Right. No, that's for sure pretty impressive, right? So that for sure is something that it is basically trying to educate all the persons here in the province, saying that you are investing in passive solution, and again, that doesn't mean that the active solution doesn't work anymore. It's like, wow, is basically trying to kind of complement in on a holistic way the solution, in order that if you invest more on passive areas, again, the active solution will trigger in when it be used, right? So if you invest in the things that will cost you like less maintenance, and it will be there if it's installed in the proper way from the get-go, of course, right? You'll see the benefits, right? Again, you're running on certain things, as you were mentioning, that is more like education and the way how you have to operate the building, as open and close the door, and trying to kind of have that scenario where, okay, we need to kind of just be more conscious about it in order to kind of just do better the next time, right? So the other thing that I was looking at certain resources is that you went above and beyond on what was required in the passive house principles. I noticed that you were installing like some collectors of water, and you also put pavers. I think when you were taking the decision, you were saying, well, up to like how much I can go, right? So that was your initial plan, or something that came around later on? What you can tell about it?
Well, let's address those permeable pavers. So those permeable pavers make me look good, like I went over and above. But if you were to visit our site, one of the things the city of Red Deer asked us to do was build a retaining wall between our two properties on this site because of the difference in elevation between the two. And from a visual perspective, from a usage perspective, that retaining wall just wasn't going to work for me. So I needed to figure out a way that we could capture enough water so that the city's sewer systems weren't getting bombarded, or there wasn't issues that may come up without having that retaining wall. So these permeable stones actually worked out perfectly. They were able to offset the amount that the city was requesting, that would have been offset by the retaining wall. So in turn, we end up, kind of falling backwards into good luck, because instead of building what would have been a very expensive retaining wall, we still end up having to do an expensive paving and drainage system. But now I get to keep the look that I wanted to have, where that's a continuous, a lot, as opposed to one that's chopped up. And we also now have this very unique, special and interesting kind of spot where customers don't quite get it right off the bat, but yeah, we want you to drive on that moss bed. We want you to drive on that clover, and even after we put this in, if your car happens to be leaking, or your car happens to be, spitting out some kind of oil or whatever else, we actually want you to park it on those beds too, because the instead of leaving it just on the concrete for it to go into the sewer system, we can leave it on our permeable paving stones, where the clover and the mosses and the weeds and whatever else are growing in there are actually going to be a little bit more helpful if your car is leaking some kind of fluid, because it doesn't seem to make any sense. You think, well, you're killing your grass, but all of us know how quickly clover and that stuff can grow back, and it's pretty well growing on top of concrete at this moment anyway. So those pads have been pretty unique, pretty cool, and that all came solely out of the fact that we didn't want to build a retaining wall. So that made us not only look good, but it also made it really kind of cool.
Oh, that's great. And I think I read you were planning to install some portable PACE panels in the future in order to maybe just neutralize whatever that's electrical consumption that you are using right now. Is something that you're planning to do in the future, or not actually?
Yes. Yeah. So what our plan was there is we would love to incorporate a little bit of solar energy capture, so that we can add that to our kind of our list of cool things here. But what we'll also be tying that into is a bit more of a market side of things too, when our plug-in electric vehicles start to show up. So you will see we've got it pre-wired in a number of areas so that we can put those panels in that will capture the energy there, but they'll also act as shelters, and they'll be able to kind of emphasize our charging areas and that sort of stuff too. So yeah, those are future plans. Right now, with the market the way it is, and other provinces kind of gobbling up the demand of electric or plug-in hybrids right now, we don't have any of those at our Subaru store, and in fact, we don't actually have any of them at our GM store either. The market there actually is so strong for those cars in other provinces. Alberta is kind of being skipped over right now, but that will come. I mean, that's going to be, maybe not next year we'll have a large supply of them, but by 2023, 2024, you're going to start to see electric making more of a presence here in Alberta too. So we're waiting for that type of product to show up so that we can all tie it together as a bit of a an introduction to electrics for our customers.
Right. No, that's good explanation as well. So, for me, like, if in the future you have the opportunity to kind of just build another building, so you will kind of just pursue do another passive house? Yeah,
I'm sold. One of the things that I'm kind of saving up for right now is I would like to build a passive residential, like a multifamily, some kind of a apartment, or maybe even just townhome style setup. But to see how that works in a residential setting as well. But for sure, if we are to do another fresh build, we'll definitely be either going for the full passive certification or at very minimum incorporating a lot of these passive theories into that build, because we are living proof right now. This was money well spent, but it was also it's made life better for all of us in the building. The building itself is performing. We're consuming less. Like I said, I'm hooked. I like the idea. I like the concepts. I like the theories, and we want to try and do more of it when the opportunity presents itself.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So, yeah, and one of my last questions that I have is more for Garret's point of view, right? So I know that a lot of new generations are listening right now, and something that I've done in the past with other guests is ask the same question. Is like, what's one thing you wish had known when you began your career? So something that you specifically can just share with everybody and say like, okay, I would like to have known this specific element or this specific phrase, something that you can share with everybody in order that, everybody can be inspired by you.
Sure. I could probably list dozens of things there, but I think the big one for us, being that I'm in a retail industry, being that, our industry is highly competitive, the one thing I wish I would have done, not in year 12 of my career, but more like in year 2, is that don't be afraid to stand out. The world loves a good story. The world loves a unique story. And being different is uncomfortable, but being different sells, and being different stands out. And that's something that I wish I would have taken those gambles years ago, because they're really not gambles at all. When you look at it, the best stories in the world are about people that are, so different from the normal. Why would we not all strive for that? So I guess that would be my best piece of advice. And the other side of things too is, with this building, I'll just kind of add on to that sort of same sentiment. But I don't consider myself, a green activist or anything like that. I don't really consider myself, quite frankly, to be all that educated when it comes to conservation and when it comes to ways that we can save the environment. Yes, my industry is going through it, just like the construction industry is too. We all have to get better. But this building didn't gain my full attention and full passion until I found out this is just more efficient. It's going to provide a better living area for the people that occupy it. And it's going to typically last longer, be more durable, and be simpler to maintain. Now, very different to maintain, but simpler. And that there just kind of builds into our whole, efficiency is crucial to us. And our business has been very, very similar for years and years and years. And why not strive to improve efficiencies everywhere you can? And this really stood out to me. This is not about being green. This is just about building something that's more efficient than the next guy. And in just about every aspect, whether it be business, sport, whatever it may be, if you're more efficient than your competitor, you're beating them.
No, that's correct. Like trying to be different as the actual competitors, right, is what put us in the spot and trying to kind of, oh man, should I be doing like this in this way? But what happens if it doesn't work? Thank you for being the pioneer, at least on this building, in order to outstand between the other car dealerships as well, because it's not easy, but again, right, is in a way you can feel like it's more safe doing everything in the conventional way, but trying to kind of just do different just for the sake to improve its sentiment, save more energy or be more green, right? So no, that's a pretty good point of view. So I think, my last question will be, how can we connect with you or your company?
Well, I'm if you look at any of my social platforms, whether it be our dealerships or even myself, I'm pretty available there. But Scott Subaru is here in Red Deer, and Kip Scott GMC Cadillac Buick. You can find me. I'm all over those pages. I do keep myself pretty accessible. So whether that be Facebook, Twitter, it's basically just at Garret Scott. So that's the best way to get a hold of me, and through the dealerships as well. Anywhere on our About Us pages, all the emails that all those links go directly to me. So I'm pretty accessible, and be happy to discuss more if anybody's got some questions about a passive build, or being someone who's done the job now, what it's like, or even just offer a tour and show you what's different from a conventional build. So happy to do that.
No, thank you. And again, right, thank you, because you didn't hesitate in order to kind of have this conversation. I can remember I asked the question and just jumped right off the bat, and it was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And no, thank you for being approachable. And of course, like I understand, and I'm pretty confident that whoever wants to kind of reach you in order to kind of know more about your building, about your focus in the sense to how improve and how be different, you'll be there. Thank you for your time. Yeah, hopefully we can just meet in person, and yeah, we can go from there.
Great, thank you, and keep in touch, Carlos. That sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
And please don't forget to leave me a review on whichever platform that you're using to listen in this podcast. Either good or bad. Remember, Mexicans have thicker skin. You won't hurt my feelings, that's for sure. And better yet, if it has some good criticism, so I can learn from it and improve it, that will be even greater. I understand this hasn't been perfect, but it can be better every time. I recognize your time is valuable, and would like you to enjoy this moment with me as well. Also, if you like what you get from this audio, I will recommend you to be the first to share this info with your friends, so maybe they can get something valuable from it as well. Thanks for listening, and let's meet again soon.